Hello everyone. In this lecture we are going to study the various model and prototypes. So what is a prototype? Prototype is nothing but a physical structure for which the engineering design is required. Means this is the actual structure. The predictions are made for the prototype to work under the actual field conditions such as the dam, spillways, river training works or any other water distribution system. So these are the prototypes, the actual structures. Now what are the model? Model is the representation of a prototype. So it is like the prototype but in a other scale, in smaller scale mostly. And it is prepared or it is manufactured by using some scales. Means up to some smaller scale, some means very smaller scale, this model is prepared and that model can be studied manually. So this type of models are sometimes have a larger size also than the prototype, but it rarely happens as per the requirement. Now importance of model studies. Why this type of studies are important? So the hydraulic structure and machine like hydraulic structures such as the various dams, canals, turbines, pumps, then penstocks involve the high capital investment because they are huge in their size and a lot of time is required to construct them, lot of investment is required, lot of manpower is required, and if such things fail, then there will be a huge loss of that investment, manpower and time. So this type of uncertainties exist for the desired performance of this type of prototypes. Therefore, and also the new designs may cause the unexpected uncertainties in their performance. That's why the models are required to be tested before their planning, commencement of their construction, actual construction or actual implementation of that design. The model is needed to be tested. So after getting the confirmation from that working model, you can go for that specific design. So this is the importance of the model studies. So what are the benefits? It saves the time and the various resources, manpower, working hours, right? Then it also saves the your investment. You can modify your model, you can modify your prototype according to the results that you are going to get through that analysis of model, right? So these things will work in favor of that designer. So the cost of model studies varies with the areas of the study, then characteristics of the streams, nature of the problem, number of plans and alternate plans to be tested before an acceptable solution to be developed. So the model studies also requires some type of investment, some type of provision of the funding, but that funding usually less than the 0.10% of the cost of the actual prototype project. Now what is the similitude? So simulation is the execution of the model. Similitude in a general sense is the indication of a known relationship between the model and prototype. Means the model test must yield data that can be scaled to obtain the similar parameters for the prototype. Now, this type of simulation is required. This type of relationship between the model and prototype is required to be established for proper analysis of that prototype through the model. Now, how we can obtain this type of desired results from that model studies? by achieving the similarities such as the geometric similarity, kinematic similarity or dynamic similarity. In kinematics we study the motion, in dynamics we study the cause for that motion, that is the forces, various forces and momentum, then power, work, energy, that things we study in dynamics. And what is the geometrical similarity? Means the similarity is in the shape and size and dimensions. That is nothing but a physical similarity. So the types of models, as the physical similarity we have elaborated, physical models are those which anyone can see and touch, means physically they can be experienced. So they show how parts relate to one another and show how things appear when they change the position or how they react when outside forces act on them. So it is all about the physical appearance and physical behavior, right? So in physical behavior we scale out the geometric similarities and we study all these things. So there are various types of the physical models and various applications of it that are enlisted here, such like that the internal flows, external flows are maintained, then transparent flow models, such types are there. So in a physical modeling, larger size of a system is generally smaller in size, and that system having small size is having a larger in size. Means a optimum size is to be maintained to have the model studies. So physical model of something that can move like a vehicle or machine may be completely static or have parts that can be moved manually or to be powered. Now this is all about the system, how you incorporate these working model system, 2D system, 3D system, all these things, distorted, undistorted type of various parts of that system are to be studied. That is the thing. Now a mathematical model. So a mathematical model consists of mathematical equations and data. Mathematical models may have a simple or complex mathematical equation requiring various computer softwares. Now such like that the finite element analysis is there, that we can also do with the help of the various softwares, right? So the computer models are helpful in modeling events that take a longer time. Means the exponential evaluation or how certain values will behave, means graphical representation, then statistics and various probabilities related with all these mathematical models that can be easily analyzed by using this type of mathematical model studies. Then conceptual model based on certain concepts, certain thematic representation, certain imagination, or certain type of information, preliminary information. That type of models are the conceptual model based on the concepts, based on the theories. So examples are also given. The classification system used to classify living things is a conceptual model. In this classification system, scientists having various similarities in the organisms and they can study it. Likewise, the various taxonomies are used after that classifications, such like that the mammals and various flying birds. So this type of then aquatic animals, right? So this type of classifications were used after the Darwin's evolution. He has predicted various classifications of this type of living beings. So this type of modeling is nothing but the thematic modeling or conceptual modeling based on certain concepts. So these things are used in many fields ranging from the sciences to the socio-economics to the software development to the studies of the various biodiversities, right? So these are having various applications over a longer scale. Then the next one is the virtual modeling. So the procedure of creating a full model of component, a part, or an assembly on the computer is a virtual modeling. Virtual model can be a digital representation, can be a drafted model. It is a digital model. It is used. It can be studied in a software. You draw the various drawings on the AutoCAD. That is the best example of it. You can have the 3D models in software such as the Revit. You can analyze the various physical properties and forces acting on the various objects in the software ANSYS, right? So in CATIA software you develop the 3D models. So these are the various softwares by which you can do the 3D modeling. That is nothing but the virtual modeling. Now these are the certain diagrams, certain images representing the your model and prototype studies. So the capillary tubes showing the capillary actions by using the two type of fluids. One is the colored water and second one is mercury. So the capillary action is there. By lowering the diameters, the capillary action takes place. One is the colored water, which is having the least density, and one is having the mercury, which is having the highest density. So this type of things you can study. Various types of models are shown here. By using this type of models you can study this, and you can have the planning of proper planning of your actual prototype. So such like that, here the fountain is shown. So the study of fountain is initially carried out, and after that you can construct that actual prototype. So this is all about the model and prototype. So thank you all.